I'm Robert Wood. I'm the conductor for the production of Silent Night.
That's fantastic. So how long have you been a conductor?
30 years.
That's amazing. How did you get started?
I started as a singer, and in my mid-20s I had also an interest in conducting, and I realized that the pieces were falling into place more easily for that than they were for singing. My voice is a little light for opera, and so I was the guy that everyone asked to help them learn their roles because I could play the piano. So signs were pointing in the right direction. No, I went all the way through college singing, and then I moved to Vienna, Austria, and it was there that I made the switch.
Yes, you're basically in charge of this entire show.
Yeah.
So how do you go about preparing for a show? How do you do score studying?
That's a great question. I do everything at the keyboard, and I learn to sing and play the parts at the same time. And so that gives me, it's a slow process, but it's a very thorough grasp of what's going on with the voices, with the orchestra. Balance is going to be a little bit tricky because the orchestra is very big. It's been very well orchestrated so that the orchestra is typically not full when there's a small group of people or a soloist singing, but still that's going to take some looking after. Another big challenge, which you've already experienced in the chorus, is that there are long stretches where counting is really important, and there's very little rhythmic energy coming from the orchestra. It's very sort of placid. And so it's very easy for the stage to rush during those things, and so that can be a challenge too.
When you're working on different shows, what was an oh crap moment that you had while conducting a score during your performance, and how did you manage to deal with it?
Well, the usual one is that somebody comes in wrong. And so in the moment you figure it out. A funnier one is at my debut at the San Francisco Opera, I was very nervous, and so right before we went on, the stage management told me, we will start Act 2, Scene 2 when the red light goes off. There's a little light by your stand. But what I heard was, we will start Act 2, Scene 2 when the red light turns green. And it doesn't turn green. So I was waiting, went off, nothing happened. I waited some more because I thought this thing is going to turn green, and the orchestra's like, "What's going on?" And and then it starts to blink. I'm like, "Is this an emergency?" And then I hear a rustle of costumes backstage, and so I realize they're there. That was the fastest beginning, I think, to Act 2, Scene 2 of Traviata that anyone has ever heard. I would say if you do have an interest, find scores. You can probably easily find them online, especially for traditional works, whether it's symphonic or opera, or even modern stuff, and look at the score while you're listening to it and start to process who's doing what where and reading along with it. That's an interesting way of starting.